The Haval H6 is helping the company's brand create momentum, and the sportier coupe-style H6 GT model has arrived to bolster the range of the standard model. Stay with us till the end of the video because here is everything you need to know about the Haval H6 GT. Interior, infotainment and connectivity, safety, performance, and price. There's a wow factor at play the first time you step inside the H6 GT because Haval has upped the ante in terms of cabin presentation. It looks and feels like $1,000,000, with big screens, plenty of plush materials, and interesting textures, as well as seats finished in synthetic leather with suede inserts and red embossed GT logos on the headrests. The front seats are supportive and comfortable too, and in this top-of-the-range spec, they're heated and ventilated. A large center console with nicely crafted buttresses that lead up into the dash houses the rotary dial gear selector, which isn't our preferred method of changing gears. That center console, two-tiered as it is also home to plenty of storage options. As well as a pair of cup holders, there's another phone and key-size cubby, a decently sized central storage bin, and a wireless phone charging pad. Underneath the top of the center console lives another large storage area ideal for wallets and other slightly larger items. A handbag down there wouldn't be out of the question. The heated leather wrapping steering wheel feels solid in the hand and isn't overly festooned with buttons and switches. Cabin ambience is lifted by the standard fit panoramic glass roof on the H6 GT Ultra. Move to the second row and you'd be forgiven for thinking you'd stepped into a much larger SUV. Space back there is, in a word, enormous. There's plenty of room for toes, knees, legs, and even your head, despite the presence of a panoramic roof and sloping roofline. If rear seat comfort is high on your list of priorities, the H6 GT won't disappoint. Be aware though, the middle pew suffers from a firm backrest courtesy of that flip-down armrest that houses a pair of cup holders. This is an ideal 2+2 people carrier with the middle position best saved for occasional trips. Where the H6 GT loses a little over its wagon sibling is in cargo capacity. With the back seats in use, there are 392 liters to play with, which expand to 1,390 liters with the second row folded away in a 60-40 split fashion. Access to the rear compartment is via an electric tailgate on both H6 GT Lux and Ultra models, with hands-free opening added to the top grade. A 10.25-inch or 12.3-inch color touchscreen plays host to the Haval's infotainment system. It certainly looks sharp in terms of its graphic presentation. It's fitted with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, although eschews wireless connectivity in favor of good old-fashioned cables. A pair of SUB plugs lives down low in the center console, underneath the upper section, and can be a bit tricky to find the first time out. Still, the H6 makes up for its unergonomic placement with a little neat slot to feed your cable through to the top section. The infotainment system is a minefield of menus and submenus, and unfortunately houses most of the H6 GT's functions. Climate control, drive mode selection, seat heating and cooling are all buried, sometimes deep inside a menu structure that can be confusing. Apple CarPlay integrates seamlessly and looks the business using the entire width of the screen. And you'll need smartphone mirroring, as despite this being a range topper, there's no inbuilt satellite navigation or digital radio. The 10.25-inch digital instrument cluster looks sharp and offers some functionality, but again, it can prove a little bewildering. But in terms of basic functions, such as a speedo and tacho, it's perfectly fine. There's also a heads-up display that shows driving data in a clear and concise fashion. If you're using adaptive cruise control, Both the driver's screen and the head-up display will project a virtual reality version of not only your Haval H6 GT, but also the traffic around you, in front, alongside, and behind, complete with lane markings and blind spots. Got a truck moving up quickly in your right-hand blind spot? It's right there in front of you, complete with truck-like graphics. It also displays your positioning within the lane so you can see when you find yourself drifting a little too close to the lane markings. While the H6 GT hasn't specifically been tested by Australia's safety body, ANCAP, its wagon twin has. It's fair to assume then the 5-star safety rating will carry over to the H6 GT. The car is supported by a comprehensive suite of safety technologies, including autonomous emergency braking with cyclist and pedestrian detection, lane departure warning, lane keeping assist, and lane change assist, blind spot monitoring, adaptive cruise control with stop and go functionality, rear cross traffic alert with braking, front and rear parking sensors, a 360-degree camera, tire pressure monitoring, and driver fatigue monitoring. A suite of 7 airbags covers both rows of occupants. It's worth noting, the H6 GT's lane-keeping aids can be a bit trigger-happy, sounding audible warnings before nudging you back between the lines gently. It's probably a bit too eager in its application, and exacerbated by the chirping chimes that accompany every alert. All can be switched off, of course, but it can be quite difficult to find that ability inside the bamboozling menu structure nested inside the infotainment screen. Like the broader Haval H6 range, the GT Ultra is powered by a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder petrol engine making 150 kilowatts and 320 newton meters. A 7-speed dual-clutch automatic sends drive, in this case, to all 4 wheels. GWM Haval claims the H6 GT can do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 7.5 seconds for the all-wheel drive version and 7.8 seconds for the 2-wheel drive model. Top speed is stated at 200 kilometers an hour. Haval also claims a combined fuel use of 7.5 liters per 100 kilometers for the H6 GT Lux 2-wheel drive and 8.4 liters per 100 kilometers for the H6 GT Ultra all-wheel drive. Both fuel figures are 0.1 liters per 100 kilometers up on the equivalent H6 SUV. While the Haval H6 GT Ultra all-wheel drive is priced from $46,490 drive away, you can get the lower spec H6 GT Lux 2-wheel drive from $40,990 drive away. The GT Coupe's body commands a $3,500 to $4,000 premium over the equivalent H6 SUV, though there's little in the way of extra specification. Thank you for staying with us till the end. Here are 2 videos you can watch next if you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.